All right, guys, welcome to my camp. There's my camper set up. Got all our food and water, our stove in it. Nice campfire. Here's my truck. I cut up some kindling for hobo dinners tonight, and there's some bigger wood for when we get done. Next to this nice stream here that has no water in it. It is October after all. October 17th. Set up under this nice tree. The wind's blowing, but not in our camp. Cat just got a bowl of water and ferociously biting at something. And time to sit down and chill out. All right, so we're up. Oh, is it Friday morning? Already got dressed. Took care of all the bathroom things you need to do. Cooking breakfast. We've made sandwiches for lunch. We're going on a pretty good hike today. Cash just slept under the camper last night. He is an outside dog, and that's normal for him. And it was probably 20 degrees warmer here last night than it is at our house. So I had a wool pad for him to sleep on. You can see his hair all over it. He slept on it. So we're making hash brown, sausage, and eggs this morning, all mixed together. Call it Mountain Man breakfast. We're hoping to hit the house on fire ruins this morning, which when the sun shines on them just right, they looks like a house that's on fire. I don't know that we're going to get sunshine today. Very windy. But man, is it way warmer than it would be at my house. Loving the weather down here. And it looks like we've got blue skies where we're headed anyway. So we're going to take our chances. Okay, so we're here at the Mule Canyon ruins, which is just a 100 feet trail. Little kiosks and stuff set up. Apparently we're the only ones that think this place is cool. Today anyway.
Only 8 o'clock.
Well, it is. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning. We want to hit the actual South Mule Canyon and be in the trail about a mile by 9:30, 10 o'clock. So we're just kind of killing time. We don't want to be sitting at that first ruin forever waiting for the sun to come out. Which, any minute. I had to put a beanie on. It's only 50 degrees here. Chilly. But I just talked to my kids and it snowed at my house. I will take this all day long. Okay guys, so here is the ruins here at the first little area. This was a tower. They said it was 2 stories tall. They don't know what it was for, either defense or signaling other communities. This is a kiva, and this was for the men of the tribe or whatever they were, ceremonial thing. And it's actually got a cool little double fireplace over here, and then the chimney comes out. There's a fireplace here and here, and then the smoke would come out the little chimney over here. This would have had a roof over it. And then this is the living quarters. They actually have a picture over here I'll show you. Access these through the roofs. Some of the rooms through the roofs. So living quarters, and they did a lot of their cooking and hanging out on the roofs of these structures. So this is a pretty big structure for lots of people, and then some of these smaller ones on this side would be storage areas. So pretty cool. Okay, here's a layout of what we have here. And then here's a picture of what I guess they think it looked like. The tower, the kiva, And then the room blocks. So now that the sun's come out, hopefully it'll warm up. It's a shame to be complaining about the cold right now, because in a little while we're going to be whining how hot it is. I hope. All right. So we'll go check out the wild ruins now. All right, guys, Clay on the trail here. Still in Cedar Mesa. It was too early to go to our camp, so we decided to do a much shorter hike this time. This is something Towers ruins. I'm not sure exactly what we're getting into. It was quite a drive to get down here, but there is water down there. Anyway, there's ruins there. Oh, there's a whole bunch of towers up here. So here's one. What's left of this one. You can see the one there across the way. There's another one just right here around the corner, and there's supposed to be like 5 of them. So we'll tootle around here and see what else we can find. Okay, here is a third one. And then there's the first one we went to here, the first one we saw over here, and then there's another one next to it. That would be 4. I thought the sign said 5, and maybe there's one we can't see. Magnificent the view these towers had up here. That's obviously why they're here. There's water in this alcove or cave over here, and I can hear it dripping down over here, but I don't see it. But obviously there's enough water in there to keep all these trees going down through this canyon. Okay, here is the pool, and I'm guessing there's a cave underneath me. There's water there. Over here you can see a little section of wall. It looks new though, it doesn't look old. I don't know what it would be there for. I'm trying to get closer, but that was too sketchy. I'm going to go up and go around. Okay, there's a little section of wall close up. Looks like it was just made. It doesn't look like it's serving any purpose. Now right here used to be one. There's just a pile of rocks there. Looks like a pretty good pile of rocks right here. Used to be something. See down in the bottom here. And then another one right here. Okay, and then from this one to right here, this one's way bigger. And very fallen in. And a little bit of a wall in between the two. I really think that's all that's up here. Not that that's all, that's plenty. Let's go look over the edge. Alright, that makes me shake a little bit. I don't like being up here. It's quite the canyon. Alright, well this is the first hike we've done where there's just water. Poor Cash went a long time today without water, so did we, really. I guess they're driving up here. Somebody's driving up here. So this would be the start to the canyon. Alright, so far this is Arch Canyon, if I didn't say that already. And so far this is one of the prettiest trails we've been on, and sadly it's not a hiking trail. You can drive this. Someone has recently gone through here. There's muddy tire tracks. Yeah. But there's like trees and shade and running water. We haven't seen anything like this the whole trip. It's bumming me out though that we're walking when my truck is right there and we're walking down the road. But we'll see. There's supposed to be some ruins here within a mile. Yeah, it's cane.
Cane of what?
It's called cane. I mean, I don't know cane of what. Yeah, there's a log over here. Your shoes are that waterproof, so are mine. Pretty. It'll be more exciting to get a video of you falling in the water. Your boots are waterproof, 6 inches tall, and the water's only 2 inches deep.
I just don't feel like being wet.
All right. Okay, so the ruins here are where they let people drive up here.
It's the mountain.
Yeah. Don't seem to be in very good shape.
Is that
I don't know. I've been teasing Steph all day long. BLM's put these gates in and you have to weigh less than 100 pounds to get through them. That one's probably the biggest one we've been through all day long. Arch Canyon Ruin. The ones by Butler Wash, not the Overlook, but the actually going to the ruins. Holy cow, I'd take the backpack off and turn sideways to get through it. Alright, so there's definitely a correlation between how accessible the ruins are and how well they are cared for. You can drive within 100 yards of these and they're not in great shape. And these are the first ones I've ever seen. That are ground level. And it's hard to say what's modern and what's not. These stippled ones, I don't know. Okay, so there's all sorts of drawings up here, but again, people have just scribbled stuff all over this hill, or all over this rock. Okay, you guys can decide for yourselves whether these are real or not. Lots of people. Circles. Grooves. And then even down here on this big rock here. There's some marks. So it shows like waves. Triangles, that looks like. I don't know. So hard to say. All right. Oh, seems fishy to me. The only ones we've seen on ground level. Okay, we won't be hiking up there, but right there is a set of ruins. Wish we'd have known these were here. I'd have totally cruised this. It said there was 3 or 4 sets within a mile of the trail or so, and this would be set number 2. All right, and you have to walk through the canes to get to where you could see them. I've learned that anywhere you think there's a trail, go check it out. Because the trail we're on is clear over here. You would have certainly never have seen that if you didn't know to look. Well, we're going to head back. It's going to get dark on us here pretty soon. The sun's already set over a hill. That would totally be worth looking at, though. I've got the bug. I got to see them all now. feel like we're in a whole nother part of the country. Goodness gracious. It's been nothing but dust and dirt and rocks forever, and now there's frogs and crickets and cane grass. Look at these snake grass. They're like, it's like 3 feet tall. Back to the truck. That would be a cool trail for someone that came down here in a Jeep or with four-wheelers or side-by-side. We're gonna head back to camp, have some tasty dinner, and sit down. We've been on the move for 2 full days. Come on. Come on, let's load up. Come on. Yep, he must not want to get in very bad. Alright guys, it's our last day here. We're gonna cook breakfast and head on out of here, but for those of you guys that didn't watch my trailer build, this is what we stayed in. It's 8 foot long, 4 foot tall, and 4 foot wide, so there's almost a full-size bed in here. I had to cut about 4 inches of the mattress off, but it's enough that we still use the fitted sheet and it pretty well stays together. So I build a LED light into my lantern. Did a little custom work on my canoe rack. No reason to bring a canoe to Cedar Mesa. But I did a trip to the Tetons in Yellowstone with this in my rat truck. If you get a chance, check that video out. It's awesome. But my mom is a quilter, and she made me a quilt of my truck and my camper. So, feet go under here. It's long enough. I'm like 5'10". I can stretch out all the way and not hit both ends. Got a mirror. It stayed, well, it was 68 in here before we opened the door and let the air in. We have to sleep with the vent. I have a fantastic fan in here, and I have to vent the crap out of it, or it condensates and you run out of air. It's kind of a tight spot. But everything in here is LED. I started with 12.4 volts, and after being here, this is day 4, we're at 12.0. So it's very, very efficient. I did my wallpaper with old UNS maps. Not the most beautiful thing, but each map is somewhere I've been and it means something to me. Shelves, we've been charging our phones and tablets and whatnot over here. Storage areas, we have 2 drawers full of dirty clothes now. And our kitchen, we run a 2-burner Coleman stove. I actually have an old pump style stove that fits the era of this, but for sheer efficiency and easier use, we do this. And then I run a cooler. And then I've been letting Cash use our sink as a water bowl, but it just hangs on the side there. You can pour water in here, and then when you're done with it, take it out and dump it. All right, I also put 4 of these little dinky fold-up leveling jacks, 1 on each corner. Used an old military box for my battery, and then I've got the jack. There's little bars you can use to crank the jack up. And when it's all jacked up on all 4, it's actually very heavy. But when it's rotating on the axles, I can pick the tongue of this up with one hand. It's like 80 pounds. It's under 100 anyway. You can pick it up, and all you got to do is get it close. Obviously, we didn't pull the truck up in here and get it out. We unhooked it and then just pushed it up in here. I'm a tent camper normally, so this is a step up. The wind blew like crazy last night. There was leaves banging on the roof all night long. I didn't sleep great. But it was warm, and I didn't get wet. Even if it would have poured rain, we would not have got wet no matter what. So it is an upgrade from that, and you can pull this thing with, well, maybe not a Honda Civic, but anything a step up from that. Bacon. Nothing like bacon for breakfast. And pancakes on top of that. There's the sun coming up over there, but not quite here yet. Parked our camper under this beautiful tree. I grew up in Southern California. If you don't hold that against me, please. I used to camp every spring break at Leo Creo Beach, and there were these trees just like these. I think they were sycamores, and I don't know what kind of tree this is. But as a young kid, totally scared of heights, I would climb every branch on these things, climb clear out to the end, and then have to figure out how to turn around and get back. Terrified the whole time, but I loved the adventure. Sometimes I think I like being scared a little bit. All right, just a couple of things. When I came here, I had no idea what to bring, what to expect, what it was going to be like. Lots of dirt, not very much water. So make sure you bring tons of water if you're going to come. There are campsites where you can, there's water even this time of year, like 2 more miles up the road we're on. And this is Comb Wash. I said yesterday, this is called Comb Ridge. It runs 120 miles. So I set my GPS to the Comb Wash campground, and it tried to take me like 40 miles further south. So we are just like the Butler Wash ruins is just over the ridge here on the other side. Give you an idea where we're at. I don't remember the name of the highway. 91 or 162, something like that. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, almost brought a bunch of firewood because I wasn't sure what to expect. But there is downed wood everywhere. You don't need to bring firewood. You don't need to stop at Maverick and pay $5 for 3 pieces. I did bring just a little handsaw. It worked fine. Hopefully that'll give you a little bit of what to expect if you decide to come here. If you're not going to be scrambly and crazy and hike up over slick rock and stuff, bring binoculars. Not all of the ruins, you can't get super close to all of them. Some of them you can walk right to. Some of them require a lot of effort. But hopefully that'll help somebody out. All right, so tearing the camper down. You simply step on that. Lock it up underneath. I had this side jacked up pretty hard, so there's a lot of tension on it. Alright, there's my battery. There's the rod for the jack stands, and then I keep an assortment of nuts and bolts and whatever. I'm usually in my rat truck when I'm pulling this trailer. And things can go wrong really fast. And you find yourself without a nut or a bolt, so I carry some spares. All right, we decided to make one last stop. It's actually just on the outskirts of Blanding, which we are going through anyway, to the 5 Kiva Pueblo or 5 Kiva ruin. You can see them across there in the little alcove. Oy. Okay, so right over here is the Nation's Natural Arch, something. We'll get a better view from it on the road on the way out. So I've never done this before. I filled my SD card up on my GoPro, so I will be finishing the last bit of this on my phone. I guess you gotta look for the subtle hints on which way to go. Lots of graffiti at this place. Of course, we're a 10-minute walk and 1 minute outside of Blanding. I'm guessing for the people that don't make it into the park, that are just driving by, this would be an easy place to stop. I don't know if you can. There's my camper on the other side. Oh. Still cool if you're just coming through, and this is as close to one as you can get. For sure, come check it out. This is a big site.
It's all in the face.
Yeah, 5 kivas, not 7. And you can see them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over there, and tons of little storage and other areas. Been here for 1,000 years. Here's the nation's natural bridge. And this is like that far from my truck. All right, guys, that is the end of our trip. I have a 7-hour drive home. I am not going to bore you with that. This has been an awesome trip. If you ever get an opportunity to come down this way, it's beautiful. There's lots of stuff to see, and we just barely scratched the surface. So appreciate y'all coming along. I'm going to do a couple different videos. I'll be this one of just our regular camp stuff and a few little offshoots, and then I'll do a Mule Canyon, a hike, the Butler Wash ruins, both the Overlook and the other one I'll combine, and then the Butler Wash, like the West Fork, we'll do a separate one of that. So, man, get out there, a huge world, explore, check things out. Thanks for coming along.